Okay, shall we start the session? Like,
Anita, நீங்க ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க. யார்கிட்ட கேக்குறீங்க?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Good evening to one and all present here. Myself, Anita. I welcome all the speakers and Chief Guest, Dr. S. Geeta ma'am, who is going to act as a moderator for the SDG Ethios RCS online event 3 series 3. And I also welcome Dr. L. Ramesh sir, President of IGEN and Joint Register, Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute for Events, Publication and Alumni. And I welcome Dr. S. Geeta, Head of Department CSE at Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute. Welcome, ma'am. And I welcome all the speakers for spending your valuable time during the holiday also, like since you were, for the societal contribution to the social media campaigning, you wanted to have some kind of contribution during your Balkis.
So the comparing will be done by Sri Soumya, and now I have hand over the session to Sri Soumya.
Sri Soumya, I expressed it all the things. Now Balkis will start the program. Balkis, give the welcome address.
Good evening all. I welcome Dr. D.S. Geeta ma'am, Head of Department CSE of Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, University. Dr. L. Ramesh sir, President of IGEN, and Ms. E.R. Anita ma'am, the convener of MGR IGEN NCA Club, and my beloved customer, Ned, a speaker for SDG on event of SDG Atlas Start Series Top 3. My dear participants, a hearty welcome to each and every one of joining us today for this extraordinary MGR IGEN NCA Club online event. Your presence here is a testament to your passion for innovations and your drive to shape the future. These digital platforms serve as a powerful bridge, allowing us to connect across borders and time zones. We are all also in our other social media and updating our progress there. Let's make this event delightful for all the speakers and listeners. Once again, a warm welcome to all the participants, speakers, and moderators. Let's embark on this journey of discoveries and innovations together. Thank you all for giving this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Balkis Begum. Now I would like to call Bharat for the moderator introduction.
Hello all, this is PSV Bharat, Communication Management. Hello all, this is Bharat from MGR University, Communication Management Head of MGR INC Club. I am very happy to welcome our moderator of this session, Dr. S. Geeta ma'am. Let me give you a small intro about our beloved ma'am. Dr. S. Geeta is currently working as the Head of Department in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Dr. MGR Educational Research and Institute, deemed to be university, from the renowned Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Hyderabad, in domain of data mining. She has more than 2 decades of teaching experience in various academia and various cities in Tamil Nadu, India. She has published more than 30 peer-reviewed international indexed journals, which includes Scopus and WOS, to her credit. She has published the books titled A Comprehensive Book on Tutorials in Computer Science, Rudiments of IoT, and Essentials of Database Management Systems. She has perpetually presented guest lectures on various topics and has organized 1-week familiarization program at University Technology Petronas, Malaysia, than 20 workshops and hands-on training programs. Dr. S. Geeta has many awards and accolades, and to name a few, academic professional icon award from IAI during October 2018. Women Engineer Award by IAI during March 2019 and Visvesvaraya Award during October 2022. She has applied many funding proposals to various government funding agencies. Once again, thank you, ma'am, for being with us. Now I hand over the session to our beloved moderator. Thank you.
I heartily welcome you, ma'am. Thank you. We are overjoyed that such outstanding speakers will be joining us for the event SDG Ethios Talk Series 3. Prepare to be enthralled and inspired by their knowledge and thoughts. Now, I welcoming Shivatmika for speaker introduction.
Good evening to everyone present here. I shall now welcome our respectable speakers. SDG 13 Climate Action, Dr. E. Kavita Ma'am, Deputy Dean, Journal Publications, Professor of Department Physics, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, Chennai. SDG 14 Life Below Water, B. Renuka Devi Ma'am, Professor of Department IT, Sri Sai Ram Engineering College of Chennai. SDG 15 Life on Land, Ms. Buona C. Ma'am, Department of IT, Sri Sai Ram Engineering College of Chennai. SDG 16 Peace and Justice, Dr. P. Tanuja Ma'am, Associate Professor of Department Chemistry, from Sri Sai Ram Engineering College. And from SDG 17 Partnership for the Goods, Dr. K. Dayanalini Ma'am, Head Academic Affairs, K. Ramakrishnan College of Engineering. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivatmika. Now, I would like to formally turn the session over to our respective moderator, Dr. S. Geeta, CSE Department HOD. They will assume control and carry on the event. Make sure everyone has a pleasant and interesting time. Let's give our moderator a hearty virtual round of applause as they lead us through the remainder of this amazing event. Moderator, I turned it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, all. Really, I'm very happy to. Am I audible? Am I audible? Yes, okay. Good evening to all. Really, I'm very happy to be the part of this SDG talk series, mainly focusing on SDG 13 to 17, and also be the moderator of this session for the entire
Dhanush, remove the poster, Dhanush.
Panel members who are all here with us today. Dr. Kavita Madam, Ms. Renuka Devi, Ms. Buona, and Dr. Dhanuja, and Dr. Dayalini. I hope we all will make this session to be as a lively one, and they'll be presenting their views, which will be just interesting to the people, those who are listening here. And my sincere thanks to Ramesh sir and the team, those who are working for SDG goal, to always active us to think about SDG in terms of day-to-day activity. Before I'll just hand over the session to the panel members, I would like to just give a brief introduction about all the five SDG goals, which we are just going to discuss upon today. Climatic, first, the 13 SDG 13 concern, it's a climatic action. As we all know, global warming are still increasing as we do lot of as we are putting a lot of effort to control upon. But United Nations Framework Convention of Climatic Change aims to just provide a global warming this century to not more than 2 degrees centigrade. So the people are working on it to control this global warming. And coming to that, SDG 14, Life Below Water. As you all know, water, we all always think about coastal areas alone. No, day-to-day, without water we cannot live. Yes, water plays a major role in our day-to-day life, but still a lot of acidity in this in water, and so that has to be removed by creating an awareness about this life below water to the general public. And that the higher side is nearly 104 to 220 coastal regions are improving their coastal water quality. Yes, so that shows the good sign of people are working for this SDG 14. And SDG 50, life on land, as along with the human being, 8 million animal and plant species are living with us. How we are just making them to be alive with us, that is a big question mark again. But a lot of intergovernmental science policy are working on to provide a good biodiversity and ecosystem services. So still we are progressing on to give a better life on land. And SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institution. Although a lot of efforts to protect human rights are increasing, but the number of refugees due to conflict exceeding in 70 millions. See, it's a threatening part. So we are still a long way to work for this goal. And the last one is partnership for the goals, 17. It's a meta goal. Really, these goals need an entire support of all the previous 16 goals to achieve this. So I hope today's panel member will give a better insight on this SDG 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 in terms of climatic action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and institution, and partnership for goals. So with this brief introduction about that SDG goals, I would like to just call upon the panel member who's going to talk about the goal number 13. It's climatic action. Dr. Kavita Madam, please, the time is yours.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Am I audible, audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Very good evening to one and all present here. First of all, I am very much privileged to be the part of this SDG Ethoios. I'm very thankful to Dr. Ramesh, President IGEN, for giving me this opportunity to be speak about my views and suggestions regarding this SDG Goal 13, climate action. Yeah. Now let me start my presentation. Myself, Dr. Kavita, head of Young Green Innovators Army, an institution of green engineers, and Deputy Dean for Journals and Publications, and also Professor, Department of Physics, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute. Today, I'm going to talk about Sustainable Development Goal 13, that is climate action. So in this climate action, I want to share some of my views regarding this theme, target, indicators, and the current status, and also the future actions. Yeah. So before going to this topic, just a brief about this MDGs and SDGs. So MDG means Millennium Development Goal. It was passed in 2000 with an achievement date of 2015. 8 goals ranging poverty and education to women empowerment and disease eradication. And it also ensure environmental sustainability. And now we have switched over this Sustainable Development Goal. It has been passed in 2015 with an achievement date of 2030. So we are in a position to do it fast because 2030 is nearing. So we are to be more conscious about that. And 17 goals with 169 targets within these goals and related to 45, I think, related to climate change. Numerous goals specifically deal with the climate change and climate-related issues. The Sustainable Development Goals are the 17 goals for the world future through 2030, and it is backed up to a set of 169 targets negotiated over 2 period at the United Nations. And it has been agreed to by nearly all the world's nations on 25th September 2015. What is new about this SDG? First and foremost, these goals apply to every nation and every sector. Cities, businesses, schools, organizations, all are challenged to act. That is universality. It has to be shared by every nation and all the sectors. What is next one is, it has to be recognized that the goals are all interconnected. Goal 1, goal 2, everything from goal 1 to goal 17, all the goals are interconnected. We can't say this goal is very important, this second goal or 17th goal is important. We can't say like that. All the goals are very, very important. They're all interconnected. We can't aim to achieve just one goal. We have to work for the total goals together. So there's integration. Next one is transformation. It is widely recognized that achieving these goals involves making very big fundamental changes in how we live on Earth. So now we all know these are the Sustainable 17 goals, and first 1 to 6 goals it has been for a social thing, and 7 to 12 economic, and last one 13 to 15 environment, and last 16 to 17 governance. So now my topic is climate action. Now let's see the features of this climate action. Here, the main theme of this climate action is take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. See, why I have taken this topic, every morning we are feeling very sultry, and at the end of the evening, there is raining. So there is a vast difference between the climate, weather conditions. So why this happens? These all really is very harmful to us, and we can't say summer season and winter season. All the months we are feeling the same hot and cold, right? So it's not good and it's harmful to us. So we have to take urgent action to combat the climate change and its impacts. And coming to this point, see now, what are the things to be changed? See, if this happens, then definitely it will be very harmful to us, and we have to avoid such a climate catastrophe and should be avoided, because what are the things happens is different temperature scenarios for coral reefs. If we see the coral reefs, since the temperatures are slowly increasing, definitely it affects the corals, and it has been bleached. So it affects all the features, that is living organisms inside the river. So it affects the organisms inside below the water and also above the water. Okay. The next one is sea level is increasing 30 to 60 centimeters by 2100, right? And next one also drought. We can see drought throughout our world, and because of this, it will displace nearly 700 million people by 2030. And now, if you come to, if you see this disasters, we come across a lot of disasters. We can see the medium to large scale disasters will increase from 40% from 2015 to 2030. So these are all the causes for this climate action, and these are the impacts of that. So definitely we have to take steps to decrease all the things. And now, if you see the energy-related carbon dioxide emissions, it has been increased from 6% in 2021, and slowly it has been increased increased to the highest level. So, see why it happens. We all heard about this global warming, right? So this global global warming. Actually, we see that since there is the depletion of ozone layer, the ultraviolet radiation is coming from the sun, it reaches the atmosphere, and it's absorbed by the plants. So since these heat absorbed by these plants, so it will increase our heating and cause the global warming, right? And main cause is the greenhouse gases, and we can say the greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, and methane, chlorofluorocarbon, nitrous oxide. All these substances, these chemical substances, they will increase the Earth's surface atmosphere, and these are the greenhouse gases. If it comes to this, it will produce some toxic effects in our Earth. And also these will produce some of the diseases to the human beings. So there should be global warming should be avoided, and for that we have to take a lot of steps, right? So here, if we see that the temperature it also daily is raising, and from 2019 it has been recorded recorded very high, right? And regarding this climate finance, if you talk about this climate finance, actually the climate finance has been taken by this United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, right? The assessment has been done by United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So nearly, if you see this, what is climate finance? Actually, the flow of fund of all the activities or projects or programs that helps addresses the climate change for both mitigation and adaptation in all the environment sectors anywhere in the world. So this assessment has been done by this United Nations Framework Convention Climate Change, and we can see nearly $100 billion, billions in the year of 2020, and it has been increased. It has been increased, and $8.3 trillion recorded for the developing countries nowadays. Yeah. Now, what are the steps to be taken? Yes. So, what should be taken? Why to take urgent action? How are people being affected by climate change? So what is climate change? What happens if we don't take any action? What can we do to achieve this goal? So these are the things to be discussed, right? So what happens? The main goal of this is urgent action, taking urgent action to tackle the climate change and its impacts. That is the main goal. That is the main goal for this. And why to take urgent action? If not, means what happens? Because the climate crisis continues being harmful effects to global community. And 2010 to 2019 has been recorded the warmest decade year ever recorded till now. Okay, so now how are people being affected by this climate change? How they are affected? So for this climate change affecting every country in the world, it is disrupting the national economy and also affecting lives and livelihoods, especially for the most vulnerable. Weather patterns are changing, sea levels are rising, weather events are becoming more extreme. So these are the things, how the people are getting affected by this climate change. We can come to know about this. And what happens if you don't take any action? So see, we are saying the people are they are affected by this climate change. And suppose if you're not taking any action, what happens? So if you don't take any action, it will definitely cause the average global temperature rise to beyond the 3 degrees Celsius and will adversely affect our ecosystem. So definitely it will affect our ecosystem, right? So already we are seeing how climate change can exacerbate storms and disasters and threats such as food and water scarcity, which can lead to conflict. So doing nothing will end up costing us a lot more than if we take action now. So we have an opportunity to take actions that will lead to more jobs, great prosperity, better lives for all, while reducing greenhouse gas emission and building climate resilience. So this is very, very important. We have to do it, right? So now, can we solve this problem? Definitely, we can all solve this problem if we put together. So if we all come together, we can definitely solve this problem. And how can we achieve this goal? So we all come together. If you all come together, we can definitely achieve our goals. So before that question, before explaining how can we achieve to help, how can we help to achieve this goal, I want to explain about the targets of SDG 13 and also indicators of SDG of these targets. So 5 targets for this SDG 13. 13.1, strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity to climate-related hazards and natural disasters in all countries. 13.2, integrate the climate change measures into national policies, strategies, and planning. 13.3, improve education, awareness raising, and human institutional capacity on climate change, mitigation, adaptation, impact reduction, and early warning. Then 13.8, implement the commitment undertaken by developed countries, then parties to United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change to a goal of mobilizing jointly $100 billion annually by 2020 from all the sources to address the needs of developing countries. 13.B, promotion mechanisms for raising the capacity for effective climate change related planning and management in least developed countries. So, next one is indicators. Indicators, there are 8 indicators. 13.1.1, number of death, missing persons, and directly affected persons attributed to disasters per 100,000 population. 13.1.2, number of countries that adopt and implement national disaster risk reduction strategies in line with the Center Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 15 to 30. Indicator 13.1.3, proportion of local governments that adopt and implement local disaster risk reduction strategies in line with national disaster risk reduction strategy. 13.2.1, number of countries with nationally determined contributions, long-term strategies, national adaptation plan, adaptation communications as reported to the Secretariat of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. 13.2.2, total greenhouse gas emissions per year. 13.3.1, extent to which global citizenship education for sustainable development are mainstreamed. National education policy, curriculum, teacher education, and finally student assessment. 13.3.2 identifies the country who have and have not adopted and implemented the disaster risk management strategies. And 13.8.1, amount provided and mobilized to United States dollars per year in relation to continued existing collective mobilization goal of $100 billion commitment through to 2025. 13.B.1, number of least developed countries and small island developing states with the nationally determined contributions, long-term strategies, national adaptation plans, and adaptation communications reported to UNFCCC. And coming to this World Green Building Council, this World Green Building Council, it is simply catalyzes to uptake of sustainable and decarbonized built environment for everyone and everywhere. That is net zero carbon building. If you see this climate action, green buildings produce fewer emissions. So net zero carbon emission, right? Fewer emissions helping to combat the climate change. So I'm very much proud to be the head of Green Innovators Army, and in our region, as a family member of this region, I would like to say we are taking this region cycle for green projects to reduce the carbon emission. And same thing, IGEN Talk for SDG also. We are also giving awareness about sustainable development goals 1 to 17 to all the people around in our society. I hope definitely we all come together to take steps so that we can be benefited. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity given.
Thank you, Kavita madam. Yeah, really, it's a wonderful presentation. You have touched upon many things in terms of how the climatic action being changed from hot to cold, cold to hot, and how to manage that 5 target strategy and 8 indicators. And you have just talked about how to just work for the effectiveness of livelihood, and what are all the different steps taken to just come out from the global warming. Really, it's a wonderful just presentation and talk for us, even for me to know about it. But here, I would like to add upon one more point along this madam presentation. Since climatic action is concerned, every individual effort is very much needed, even though UNFCCC has given lot of actions to work for it. How to give a madam has told net zero carbon emission. Yes, so every individual has to work for this betterment of our climatic action. That gives a better life for us as well as our in the sense of our healthier life for our inheritance in future. So thank you. And next, I would like to just call upon Ms. Renuka Devi. Madam, the podium is yours. Madam, are you there? Renuka, madam?
Ma'am, is it audible now?
Yes.
Okay,
Audible and visible.
I was talking, sorry about it. So myself, Renuka Devi. So I'm working in the Department of Information Technology in Sri Sairam Engineering College. And I'm heading the social media team of Institution of Green Engineers. So my topic for today, here I'm going to share my views of SDG goal number 14 and life below water. So here are some general informations. As we all know, there is a 3/4 of Earth's surface covers with water. So 3/4 means about 97% of our Earth's water, and it represents generally 99% of living space on the planet by volume is totally occupied by water. So we get many natural resources, including our food, medicine, and also we'll get various other products out of biofuels and other products out of our from the ocean. And planets really, the ocean plays a major role, giving us the planet's greatest carbon sink, because most of the carbon dioxide which is produced by the people around in the earth are this ocean is acting as a carbon sink actually. So then in this as this as every SDG is having some targets and indicators. So goal number 14 is also having some 7 targets and 10 indicators. Will individually tell about this targets and 10 indicators in the part of my presentation. So here, as rightly pointed out by Ms. Kavita ma'am, so there is a connect between each and every goal that is given by the United Nations. So sustainable development goals. So what are all the benefits actually we enjoy from this ocean? So actually I've said before, it was acting as a carbon sink. So in ocean, it observes about 23% of our annual CO2 emission. So this is according to a status given by United Nations actually. Then the ocean has observed more than 90% of our excess heat produced in the climate system. So there is a strong connect between the climate change and climate actions, and also between this life below water goal number 14. and 80% of our all tourism takes place in coastal areas, and those coastal areas is actually involving in improving the GDP of country also. Then in the ocean related tourism industry grows actually, and it is estimated to be an US dollar of about 134 billion per year in some countries actually. Then from the fisheries we get through this ocean 57 million jobs globally and provide a primary source of protein for 50% of our population. We actually consume this protein intake through this fisheries. And these are all the benefits that we actually directly enjoying from the ocean. So there are some problems actually happened in our ocean. So what is it? So there are pollutions created in the marine. So actually as per the given status of a report, 17 million metric tons of clogging the oceans in 2021, and it will set to double or triple by 2040. So you could understand the seriousness of the marine pollution that is expected to happen. So we are actually taking steps, small steps for preventing this marine pollution also. We'll take this, see the steps in the later part of this presentation. So here, marine pollution actually happened, as per the report, 17 million metric tons as per 2021 report. And it will set to double or triple by 2040. And there is a ocean acidification process also. The pH level is 8.1 right now, and it is about to increase. Actually, this pH is increased 30% more acidic than the pre-industrial times. So before, the pH level was actually less, and now the general pH of water is increased to 8.1, and it is expected to increase more. So thereby, we have to take upon serious issues and serious steps to prevent all these problems over here. And whenever there is a problem, there is always a solution, and we also following those solutions through various actions that we do actually. So increasing the level of debris. So actually, every year, it is estimated to be 5 to 12 million metric tons of plastic that is entering, roughly about 13 billion per year. So this much tons, around 12 million metric tons of plastic is entering into the ocean, and it is roughly calculated to be the $13 billion per year. And about 89% of this plastic litter is found in the ocean, and this is particularly from the single-use items like plastic bags. So which we are using some plastic bags, right? So those kind of small plastic bags is creating this much of impact in the ocean. 89% of the plastic litter is found in the ocean. And also, this ocean is polluted by overfishing. So there will be a limit. So when we do overfishing, the natural breed and things will get spoiled, and the rare collection of fishes will get destroyed. And due to the pollution of this marine pollution and ocean acidification and increasing level of debris, the fisheries reproduction system is already affected, and also coral reefs, which is produced every year, is actually decreasing. So we are polluting as much as we can. So the greatest problems has to be solved. So out of these problems can be solved using various, there is always a solution when we have some problems and challenges, as I told already. So 3 billion people in the marine and coastal biodiversity is polluting and threatening this ocean. So there is a solution, and we have to protect the marine and coastal ecosystem by reducing the pollution out of it. So that by by creating a eco-friendly environment, like we should not, when we go for a coastal area, we should not use any plastic items. So those kind of activities that we follow, then our family will follow, our children will follow, thereby the entire like what people will see us and they'll change themselves. So be the change in ourselves, that will make the entire world to get change, a small change that should be come from us. So from us to the family members, from family members to peoples around their workplace and their schools and things, and then from the schools and every places it will get spread. So eco-friendly environment is in our hands. And then there is a 40% of world's oceans suffer from overfishing. So this poor fishing practices, poor waste management, this also affects this reproduction system of our fishes, and the pollution increases and everything increases. The actual rare collection of rare breeds of fishes and which is present in the ocean is actually reducing. Number of species, rare species, number of species is reducing every year. So this kind of activities will definitely affect our future generation. So this can be minimized by ending the harmful fishing. So fishing, we have to have some regulation things. So those kind of regulations, when it is followed, only certain period we can do fishing, and overfishing is not allowed. So we have to have a strong rule that will help us to eradicate this overfishing. And the next thing is, as ma'am already said, Kavita ma'am, we have discussed about coral reefs. Really, this coral reefs, which provides every year 25% of all marine life, are being destroyed by an alarming rate. So this can be reduced, and we can protect this coral reefs when we fight against the climate change. There is definitely a linkage between each and every sustainable development goals, and here is the linkage actually. So coral reefs can be protected by fighting against the climate change. This will reduce the sedimentation and stop the coral mining and promotes the sustainable tourism also. So that thereby this all the problems that we are facing today will get a regularized one. So we definitely have any problem, for any problem, we definitely have some solution. And these are some solutions according to us. And I just want to give some point adding up to this. I'm just going to discuss about this targets and indicators, as I said in my previous presentation. So there are 7 targets and 10 indicators here. So we have the target number 1. So it is target number 1 is protect and restore, it is reduce marine pollution. So how we reduce and reduce marine pollution. So we just preserve, when we go into the coral areas, we just practice our own things by not using plastics, we not using harmful chemicals or anything when we go to the coastal areas. So the people living around coastal areas should never use, or any, not only around coastal areas, any people who is who's able to carry an alternative for plastics, definitely they have to follow. So reducing the marine pollution is thereby achieved. So the next one target is protect and restore the ecosystems. So that when we not use this plastics, we definitely able to achieve the ecosystem upgradation. So we can definitely able to protect our ecosystems. And the third target is reducing the ocean acidification. So when we manage, when we are able to manage our ecosystem based approaches, we definitely able to help this acidification process. So the pH level already it is 8.1 as per the report. So this pH level will be reduced when the climate change is actually and then the reaction of plastics and everything, the chemicals, bad chemicals which we are using, the waste management which we are not actually having any regulations for this waste management. When this waste management is really taking care, this oceanification, this acidification process will definitely come down. And then the fourth one target is sustainable fishing. So overfishing will be actually taken care when we follow these regulations. We have a proper regulations for overfishing, then that can be also eradicated. And the next one is conserve coral, coastal and marine areas. So we just able to, when we follow the above things, we definitely will be able to conserve a coastal and marine areas, and thereby improving the life below water. And then fifth target is, sixth target is end subsides contributing to our overfishing. So overfishing definitely will be having the following the regulatory acts, and we'll be able to, and we can also stop buying the rarest products, and there is an alternative source for protein not only from the fishes. During there is a stay, right? So during the stay period, we can go for the alternative protein items apart from fishes, so that the overfishing can be minimized. And next one target is, seventh last target is increasing the economic benefits from sustainable use of marine resources. So with the resources already there, we can definitely enjoy the benefits only if it is natural. We human should not waste or hazard any kind of by the people. We should not make any hazard to the organism species which is found in the ocean. Knowingly we should never do, and unknowingly we'll try to use the plastics and avoid using the plastic kind of things both in the land and also in the ocean. So by following these kind of targets, definitely we can achieve more. And the last part which I just want to tell you is, so and by knowingly or unknowingly, I've accepted for this topic, life below water. So one of my student is Rakshita, who is also doing her project in this area, and she is reducing the underwater pollution by detecting the plastic and things. She's developing the project for helping the identification of plastics around underwater, and it is a big task, and she's trying her best. And at identifying, using the machine learning techniques, she is identifying the plastics underwater, and she is finding the solutions for making the people to get awareness, and trying to remove the plastics out of water, a kind of a product she is making. And another important thing which I just want to convey is, there is a community called as Ocean Engineering. So sorry, in IEEE, there is a society which is specifically taking care of this ocean thing. So this IEEE Oceanic Engineering Society is taking care of ocean preventions by doing various activities like workshops, seminars, and they also conduct similar kind of conferences specifically to ocean. So there is an opportunity for you all who is listening to use this IEEE Oceanic Engineering Society, who can contribute to preserve this life below water. Definitely you can join this IEEE community society, and you can enjoy the benefits out of it. So they are conducting various conferences in different countries, and they are also conducting workshops and symposia kind of thing, and communications underwater, and very technical activities that is happening here. So these are my insights about this life below water. And I just want to convey my sincere thanks to Ramesh sir for giving this opportunity, and being the moderator, Geeta ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Renuka, Madam. Excellent presentation. You have just brought an insight into marine pollution, ocean acidification, and that anyway, as you all know, when you are speaking for a long time, it is very difficult to make the people to understand what we are trying to convey. But we put it in one big picture that will easily attract the people what they are trying to just convey through picture. That cycle, one poster which you have posted as life below water is excellent one. It conveys the entire requirement of what we need to do it for life below water. But as you said, first that has to be implemented at our home. Through us, it has to be reaches to our friends, and through them, it has to go to the society. But I would like to conclude this your SDG 14 is concerned. Much of the waste which we have thrown it in the land, actually, it end up in oceans. Yes, so that has to be avoided from our side in every day-to-day activity. That's just I would like to add up on this point along with your presentation. So that's what the government is even taking a lot of initiative to just do that. But every individual has to have a sense of thing as what we do, what we should not do, which will create a problem for a society. So, okay, thank you for your presentation. Now, I would like to hand over the podium to Ms. Bhuwana. Madam, please take over your session.
Thank you, ma'am. A very warm welcome to one and all present here. Myself, Bhuvana Chandran, a student of Sri Sairam Engineering College, currently pursuing my BTech IT final year. And my topic for today is life on land. As we all know that all 17 SDGs are framed in order to make our world a globally sustainable one. Though our modern world is completely moving towards the revitalization and completely moving towards automation, still there arises a crisis like climatic change, pollution, biodiversity loss, all those things. These all are standing as a major threat to our environment. Considering each and every threat, which is based on the life on land, we as a human beings are living in our land. As our ma'am has earlier said, that there are nearly 8 million species of plants and animals living in the same land. So equality to be given to each and every species, be it human beings or living beings or non-living beings. Everything has been coming under our planet, and it's our responsibility to take care of each and every species being present over here. Considering the climatic change has become a major critical issue in the current scenario. Like consider today it is raining heavily. Within 2 hours of time, it has been it was a very good sunshine. All these, but in earlier before before a century of years ago, like it has a continuous lifespan of for 15 days it will be raining, and 15 days it should be a summer. Like that, it should continue in a very perfect scenario. That is what is called a sustainable climate. But right now the current scenario is not like that. This is majorly because of deforestation. Since we have become civilized, our human beings are cutting the plants, forest, everything for the sake of living. As a result, there is arising a danger of extinct species. Since we are cutting the forest, the animals which is living over the forest is coming to our locality. And as a result, we are creating an endangered species threat also. So for our own, though our entire land has been covered with a lot of water, 70% of water and 30% of land is present over here. That 30% itself is a very good sum for us to live. Still, that 30% human beings are very fond enough in such a way that they still need a lot of land for their own urbanization. And as a result, we are cutting the plants. As there is a saying, like for a single tree being cut, 20 saplings to be planted instead. If we have been following this, definitely we can come out of the crisis. That would be a major solution for that. Like if you just consider, if you are cutting the trees continuously and turning those things into factories and turning that into houses, what will the animals living over the forest do? And as a result, it not only affects animals, but also it affects our own human beings. Because of cutting off trees, we are not getting water. Proper rain is not being received, and global warming is been arised as said by the previous speaker. So these are all the list of causes which will be occurred if we are going to curve away from the climate. The second thing is for pollution. As our previous teacher Renuka ma'am said, like water almost 8 billion tons of waste is being dumped. Like consider we have certain religions like Hindu, Muslim, Christians. Everybody uses flowers, and all these floral waste are on and around of 10 tons of floral waste is being generated every day. And if you just consider for every year, it will be a huge some billions of floral waste.
Where do you think that since these has been considered as a religious laws, they are not even been thrown away or cannot even been burned off in order to dispose this waste? Since it is having its own religious value, people are throwing it into the holy waters like Ganges, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, and all those things. And as a result, if these huge many tons of floral waste has been disposed in one particular river, even the pure drinking water has been turned into poisonous water. That arises water pollution threat. If we are going to constantly make all those things, definitely it will be a threat to our own human beings. So in this account, I would take a proud privilege to describe about a solid waste management, which is being led by Dr. Tanuja ma'am in Sri Saram Engineering College, where we have taken an oath to make where we have taken an oath to just turn each and every waste to resources. And successfully, we have a Sai Baba temple in our college, where we will be getting nearly 2 kgs of floral waste every day. We used to collect it from, we have our own startup over there. We used to collect all those 2 kgs of flowers, dry it for a week, and we are just transforming it to agarbatti cups. And we are just redirecting it back to the temple. So we are collecting the waste from our college, and we are giving it back back as a product to our temple. So in this way, we are focused on our college. Though it is an engineering college, our college has been much focused on making our place quite natural. Like if you just consider our college has nearly a lot of plants. It is a peaceful environment over there. Since we have a lot of plants, definitely there will be leaves being shed over there. These plants comes under our land. So it's our responsibility to take care of our land. Since God has given us sixth sense, we have to utilize it. And just collect n number of plant waste is being generated. We are making vermicompost and vermi liquid from those plant waste. So, though our college has been sustainable at current scenario, we have zero pollution, but still we are trying to make the natural waste to a resource. So that is a very major thing which I can share over here, which has been a good glimpse of effect for us. Now, considering about since we are living in the earth, we have animals present over there. We have sixth sense to take care of our own self, but animals do not have sixth sense to take care of its own self. Like if you just consider, we are living in our country, we have in our current scenario, we will be having dogs, cats, etc., etc. We could have noticed that certain people who do not like dogs might be throwing stones at it, might be beating it, might be giving the dog inappropriate scenario. In such a case, we have our own rules. Like if you just take a photo, if the victim who is just hurting the dog, as well as a dog which has been hurt, or might be any other species, endangered species which is being hurt, we have a simple photograph of it, and if we don't even need to go to police station to complain. We can upload. Government has provided us a direct online platform to complain about it. If you upload a photo and at what place this crime has taken place, the government, the police authorities will be taking steps to who have hurted the dog. All those things can be made without our time being wasted by going into police station or animal welfare authorities and reporting them. Everything can be made with one smartphone which has been available over here and internet. So in such a way, we can take care of each and every species which has been present in our, which has been currently living with us. So if we want to make our life on land a better living place to live in, be it for human beings or for non-living beings or for even the living creatures who do not have a mouth to speak upon, we have it's in our hands to make a change. A change happens in our own self. Because of deforestation, there arises many pollution. As I said, one is water pollution, another one is air pollution. We are being urbanized and we are living in a busy world in such a way that we have been we all are using 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers, which is emitting a smoke a lot to our cloud, which in turn provides air pollution. So we can renovate solar energy. We have an enormous amount of solar energy being present in our atmosphere. We can utilize that solar energy, and we can even transform this current petrol powered vehicles to solar vehicles. Which will currently companies like Tesla has been working on e-vehicles, the electrical vehicles, which will be reducing the air pollution by providing it will be a sustainable thing in the current world. Similarly, we can just work on we can utilize that. So the country is giving, the entire universe is giving us a lot of energy sources. It is in our hand to utilize it or not. Like we can use solar vehicles for transfer, for making transport from one place to another. And as a result, if you are going to utilize solar energy, there will be no pollution being caused with it. And moreover, if we are going for electric vehicles, each and everything will be automated, and there will be zero pollution for sure. These in this way, we can make our land a conservative place and a better living place for us to live in. And talking about like solid waste management, which is our project, where our motto is to just renovate a waste to resources. And we have we have Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, where we have 5 adopted villages, which is constantly focusing on empowering the rural places where people has been prohibited with the education. We are providing a better living place for them to live in. So all these things focuses on a lot, and we can provide our world a better living place by together we can do anything. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for my Tanuja ma'am, Renuka Devi ma'am, and Aijin sir for giving us this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Gona. It's as a student, I'm very happy to listen about talk from a student. Really, it's a valuable points which you have shared about solar energy. Yes, Tesla implementation. Yes, EV vehicle, and how to empower the rural area to provide a better betterment for the society. Yes, so really it's valid points which you have shared with us. Really gives an insight on how to just have a life on land. Along with you, I would just like I would like to add upon a point as every one among us has to work to restore the use of terrestrial and ecosystems of forest, dry land or wetland or mountains. Yes, if we started to work for it, we'll enjoy that 3/4 of the life in land in a better way. Yes. So with this conclusion, now I would like to call upon Tanuja Madam. Just podium is yours to share your views on peace, justice, and strong institution.
Yeah, very good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you, ma'am. I am very much honored to present my yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry. I am very much honored to present my talk on SDG goal number 16. I thank Aijin and Dr. MGR University for this great opportunity to express my overview on goal number 16 on this global goal week. Sustainable Development Goal 16 includes 12 targets and 24 indicators. The 12 targets covers issues around peace, justice, and inclusions that were discussed and prioritized during the consultations and drafting process on the 2030 agenda. UN member states now need to take action to achieve these targets at the country level. In this effort, they were supported by the international community, including a range of UN organizations. Some of these organizations are also custodian agencies that help member states develop the global indicators for SDG 16. Goal 16 is about promoting peaceful and inclusive societies, providing access to justice for all, and building effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. People everywhere should be free of fear from all forms of violence and feel safe as they go about their lives, whatever their ethnicity, faith, or sexual orientation. However, ongoing and new violent conflicts around the world are derailing the global path to peace and achievement of Goal 16. Alarmingly, the year 2022 witnessed a more than 50% increase in conflict-related civilian deaths, the first since the adoption of Agenda 2030, largely due to the war in Ukraine. High levels of this armed violences and insecurity have a destructive impact on a country's development. While sexual violence, crime, exploitations, and tortures are prevalent where there is a conflict or no rule of law, and countries must take measures to protect those who are most at risk. Government, civil society, and communities need to work together to find lasting solutions to conflict and insecurity. Strengthening the rules of laws and promoting high rights is key to this process, as is reducing the flow of illicit arms, combating corruptions, and ensuring inclusive participation at all times. So, what we have to do and why we have to care, so that high levels of armed violences and insecurity have a destructive impact on a country's development. Sexual violences, crime, exploitation, and other prevalent, there is a conflict and there is no rule at all. So government and other society must come forward to overcome this kind of violences. So how to apply this and in this world. So goal number 16 aligns with the broader human rights framework by promoting societies that respect and uphold individuals' rights, as well as the right to privacy, freedom of expression, and access to information. Peace is a fundamental precondition for social and economic development. Without peace, societies are often plagued by conflict, violences, and instability. So, which can hinder the progress and result in the loss of lives and resources. So, we must be very care in attaining this. So, equal access to justice is very essential for protecting the rights of individuals, resolving disputes, and ensuring the vulnerable populations are not marginalized or mistreated. Crimes threatening peaceful societies, including homicides, trafficking, and other organized crimes, as well as discriminatory laws or practices, affect all countries. So, if we don't take actions, so we are that is alarmed about this violences and insecurity, and which distract the impact on the country's development, and also affecting our economic growth and often resulting in long-standing grievances among the communities. So violences not only affect other individuals, it also affects the children's health, development, and well-being, and their ability to thrive. So it causes a trauma and the weakness of social inclusions. So lack of access to justice means that conflicts remains unresolved and people cannot obtain protection and redress. So institutions must come forward to overcome this kind of violences. They have to conduct many such programs, awareness programs, in order to give awareness to the children. So institutions that do not function according to the legitimate laws are prone to attributiveness and abuse of power and less capable of delivering public service to everyone. To exclude and discriminate not only violates the human rights but also causes resentment and animosity that could give rise to violences. So what we can do? So we have to exercise our rights to hold our elected officials to account, to freedom of information, and share our opinion with our elected representatives, and also promote inclusion and respect towards people of different ethnic origins, religions, genders, sexual orientations, or different opinions. Sustainable Development Goal number 16 commits to promote peaceful and inclusive societies. So our higher educations, so that goal number 16 it can be attained only through our higher educations. So how our higher education should be? So our higher educations must contribute towards our DRAT from SDG 16 through teaching, research, governance, and external leadership. So it then analyzes 4 dynamic influencing the agencies of university in fragile and conflict, affected that context in engaging the goal number 16. So resources mobilization and the public good, securitization, academic freedom, insecurity, and political freedom, and in tensions between demands for localization and there is logics of liberal and peace building models and the SDGs must bring in our higher educations. The education missions of universities can contribute towards SDGs, including through curriculum, extracurricular activities, or mobilizing youth for sustainable development. Universities' education during conflict often faces challenges including worsening access, quality and equity, and disturbing to learning processes also. So, yet despite challenges, even in the most fragile situations, such as countries like Syria and South Sudan, higher education of some form nearly always continues. Furthermore, the education functions is significant in fragile and conflict-affected context. So, relative to research and external engagement and governance, as most universities are primarily teaching institutions, teaching SDG 16 related issues is the most direct way to contribute towards SDG 16. In terms of curriculum, among the most analyzed contributions in peace and conflict studies, which is a common interventions in conflicts affected context. Center for Peace related to educations and trainings are present in many fragile contexts, including Afghanistan, Somalia, the Central African Republic, and Sudan and South Sudan, where there are at least 9 centers for peace and conflict development studies, resulting from the Comprehensive Peace Agreement. And new degrees of peace and governance can foster expertise locating these subjects within the single discipline lessons and potential to educate the critical mass of students and faces obstacles to establishing new disciplines. For instance, in Syria, academic culture inhibits such new teaching programs with a general impression that ridicules all issues related to the social sciences, let alone peace, government, and the rule of law. Rather than peace impact in single program, issues related to conflict and government governance can be integrated throughout the curriculum. And also a comparative studies of higher education in post-conflict context finds that universities must come forward in the curriculum taking these actions. So in India, many institutions, they are following universal human values, so which inculcate the students' mind towards knowing the values of human, and also they are implementing there in the life. So that helps the nations to move in a peace way, and in that case, all the institutions must bring such kind of universal human values in their curriculum, so that this goal number 16 definitely will be attained. So thank you for the great opportunities for presenting my overview in this great forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanuja madam. Really, you have just you have touched upon this. The main point is create an awareness program on as how to come out from violences and insecurity. And one more thing which you have just pointed out, the very important thing, it has to be inculcated into the curriculum structure also, either irrespective of professional or arts and science. So pull it into the student mind in terms of in the college studies itself. Yes, so that's what nowadays our government has taken an effect just to impart that ethics into our curriculum and all. Yes. So with this, I would like to add upon one more point as 5 P's, which will help us to come out from this: people, prosperity, planet, partnership, and peace. This 5 help us to achieve this goal, but still we have to work a long way to work for this goal: peace, justice, and strong institution. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation. Next, I would like to call upon Dr. Dayalini, who is, ma'am, please, podium is yours. Please take over the session.
Ma'am, is my presentation is visible? Hello? Ma'am, is my presentation is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible, ma'am? Is my voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you. So, I'm the last speaker of this talk series, which is organized by MGR University. Thanks for Dr. Ramesh sir and the organizers for giving me a wonderful opportunity to present the last goal in the sustainable development, that is Sustainable Development Goal 17, which is nothing but partnership for the goals. So as we all aware that this is a final goal in the United Nations 2023 agenda for sustainable development, and it plays a crucial role in advancing all the other sustainable goals. So this SDG 17 is often referred as a partnership for the goals because it primarily focus on strengthening the global cooperation and collaboration to achieve the other 16 SDGs. So this goal recognizes that no single country or entity can tackle the complex and interconnected challenges of our world in isolation. Instead, it calls for inclusive and sustainable partnership at the local, national, and global levels. So this Sustainable Development Goal 17 have several key features which we are going to see in detail. The first one is the strengthening global partnership, then mobilizing resources, capacity building, data and monitoring, multi-stakeholder partnership. So we can call this SDG 17, which serves as a catalyst for achieving the entire agenda of 2030. So it recognizes that the sustainable development requires collective action, shared responsibilities, and a commitment to leaving no one beyond. So by strengthening the partnership, resource mobilization, this SDG 17 aims to create a more equitable and sustainable world for the current as well as the future generation. So as we are aware that though we have a 17 sustainable goal which were organized and which were given by United Nations and which was established in 2017. So the main mission of these SDG goals are to strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for the sustainable development. So when we talk about this SDG 17, it calls for the global partnership for the sustainable development. That is the main criteria, or we can say main vision of this last goal, which need to take up all the goals starting from SDG 1 to 16. So it highlights the importance of this macroeconomic stability as well as mobilizing the financial resources for developing the country. So it also gives and stresses upon the importance of trade as well as the equitable rules for governing the entire country. So in addition to that, it also give the partnership as said earlier. So it also involves with the agenda of 2030. So which is considered to be a universal call for action by all the countries, that is both the developed as well as the developing country. So in addition to that, it creates a partnership between the government, private sector, as well as the civil society. So let me move to the next. So the main importance of this SDG 17, as I said, it's a vision for the improved and more equitable trade, as well as a coordinated investment. That's initiatives to provide the sustainable development goal across the country. So in order to enhance a global partnership, to mobilize and share the knowledge, expertise, technology, financial resources between the multi-stakeholders as well as. In addition to that, it also supports to achieve the sustainable goals in all the countries, particularly in the developing countries, right? So this Sustainable Development Goal 17, it has 19 targets which need to be achieved by 2030 and which was categorized and broadly categorized into 5 categories as finance, technology, capacity building, trade, and systematic issues. So in addition, it has 25 indicators. So in order to, before dealing about the targets as well as the indicators, for a successful sustainable development agenda, it requires, as said earlier, partnership between the government, private sector, as well as the civil society. So innovation can't happen without universities, scientists, higher educational institutions, and without the exchange of knowledge between the continents. So in addition to that, the gender equality also plays a very vital role here. So the building inclusive partnership about the shared versions and the global, regional, national, as well as the local level. So we need to have a sharing of knowledge, technology, etc. among this. In addition to that, a better world can be built. We need some supportive as well as empathetic invention, passionate as well as some cooperative learning strategies is required. So we need to take up the macro economic stability as well as some rules which are formulated by some governing as well as the industrial trade. So moving to the targets, as said, it has 19 targets. The first target 17.1 is nothing but mobilize resources to improve the domestic revenue collection. Then the target 17.2 is to implement all development assistance commitments. Then target 17.3 is to mobilize the financial resources for the developing countries. Then 17.4 is nothing but to assist the developing countries in attaining the debt sustainability. Then target 17.5 is to invest in least developed countries. So here this is very, very important. So mainly the sustainable development goal targets on the developing country rather than the, it puts a only under leads invest in the developed countries, whereas target 17.6 will give knowledge sharing and cooperation for access the society, technology, as well as the innovation. Next, target 17.7, it promotes the sustainable technologies to the developing countries. Then 17.8 is strengthen the science, technology, innovation capacity for the least developed country. That is very important. Then target 17.9, it will enhance the SDG capacity in developing countries. Next 17.10 is promote a universal trading system under this World Trading Organization. And 17.11 is nothing but increase the exports of developing country. 17.12 is to remove the trade barriers for least developed countries. And 17.13 to enhance the global macroeconomic stability. And target 14 is nothing but to enhance the policy coherence for sustainable development. So the 15 is nothing but to respect national leadership to implement policies for sustainable development. Then target 16 is to enhance the global partnership for sustainable development. And 17 is to encourage the effective partnership between the all we can say everything, even from the local level to the national level or to the international level. And target 17.18 to enhance the availability of reliable data. And last 19th target is to further develop measurements for the progress. Next, when we come to the indicators, as we said, there are 25 indicators, which includes the government revenue, domestic taxes, development assistance, foreign direct investment, volume of remittance, debt service, investment promotions for least developed countries, science and technology cooperation, then fixed broadband description, individuals who are using internet, SDG support for developing countries, then weighted average tariffs, then exports from developing country, tariff for developing countries, then policies for sustainable development, national result framework, progress in multi-stakeholders, then public-private and civil society partnership, the statistical capacity, national statistical legislations, then resources for statistical. So all these things, whatever we have discussed in all the goals, so everything, most of that will come under this as an indicators, that completeness of census, birth, death registration, etc. So in order to enhance this sustainable development goal 17, few United Nations organizations, they have come forward in order to, they form a custodian among, in order to have one or several indicators. Some of them are nothing but the International Monetary Fund, then Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, then UN Conference on Trade and Development, World Bank, then UN Conference on, UNESCO, then International Telecommunication Union, then United National Environmental Program and Climate Technology Center, then World Trade Organization, International Trade Center, then United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, then UNEP, that is United Nations Environmental Program, United Nations Development Program, then the Department of Economic and Social Affairs and Statistic Division. So many organizations, they are supporting as this SDG 7 forms a partnership of all the goals. So many organizations, they are supporting in order to enhance this sustainable development goal. So when we come to the challenges, so some of the challenges which this SDG 17 facing are the resource mobilization, then inequality, then political will, complexity and coordination. So the data and monitoring, then private sector engagement, conflict and instability, so global crisis, then national interest, then policy coherence. So when we address all these challenges which require some, which we need to have some commitment to the principle of this, which includes the sustainable partnership, resource mobilization, cooperation among all stakeholders. So overcoming these obstacles will lead to achieve this sustainable goal agenda, which is to be implemented in 2030. So some of the strategies which are used in order to take up this is, first one is the strengthening the global cooperation. So how this is done is due to the diplomacy as well as advocacy. Then by having some international agreements which is possible. Then resource mobilization, that is innovative, financial as well as the some debt relief. Then inequality, so the equitable partnerships by both genders, as well as capacity building, then political public awareness, then champion leaders. So by effectively overcoming these challenges, it is possible to achieve a strong commitment on the principles of this SDG 17. As I said earlier, by having collaboration among the government, civil society, organization, business, individuals, education institutions, and etc., etc. So in order to have a conclusion, as I said, we have so many 16 goals, and all these goals are having a partnership with the 17 goals. So as a conclusion, this sustainable development goal, as the name itself says, as a partnership for the goals, it is nothing but a linchpin of the United Nations 2030 agenda for sustainable development. So it gives an importance of global cooperation, resource mobilization, as well as the inclusive partnership to tackle the interconnected challenges as well as the advances in all the other previously discussed 16 goals. So normally it faces challenges like resource constraints as well as inequality. So the sustainable development goal mainly involves the cooperation and innovations of the entire world. Thereby achieving this sustainable development goal 17 is essential for tuning the vision of this sustainable development into reality by all of us. So before concluding that, I would like to give a saying that sustainable development, as we all aware, that it is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability to the future generation to meet their own needs. So to end up my talk, I thank Dr. MGR University, Aizen NSEV Club, and the president of Aizen, Dr. Ramesh, and all the other organizers of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for the presentation about presentation of partnership for the goal. Really was impressed. This goal actually, which we have to achieve the support of the entire one. Yes, then only we can achieve this one. This actually, it's a very good presentation which I have seen it as a moderator, which I have seen from all the 5 panelists, right from Kavita madam, Renuka Devi madam, Bona madam, Tanuja and Dayalani madam. It's an excellent concept which they have made us to, and they have just made us to present it to the society. Yes, everybody might have heard about that SDGs, but on what way it should be reached, how it can be spread to society is very, very important. It's every individual has to work for it. So I would like to conclude this series with this as end of the day, everybody has to know about SDGs, why SDG is important. That will help us to protect the planet and ensure that all the people are enjoying with peace and prosperity. Yes, once if we just ensure that we are working for the we are working to ensure working for the protection of planet, or really it helps our future generations can inherit a healthier and greater, greener planet. Yes, this is what which I would like to conclude it. And the last one which I wanted to say is increased effort is required in terms of this SDG is concerned. Not goal one alone is important, not goal 17 alone. Every SDG goals are interconnected. Every individual has to work for the betterment of our life. My life, then our life, then society's done. Yes, so increased with this quote, increased effort is required to achieve this SDG goal. I conclude this session. Thank you for the opportunity given to me through this IGEN and SDG team. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. We give our great moderator a heartfelt round of applause and thank her for guiding us through this fantastic session. Your knowledge and direction made it very memorable, ma'am. We value the time and effort you invested in making this event a success. Thank you for being the moderator. We want to thank you from the bottom of our heart for your understanding speech. You remote suck of chord with us and had a long lasting effect. We appreciate you sharing your knowledge and empowering us all. We are so grateful that you spoke us tonight, ma'am. Thank you. Now, I would like to call Ms. Bavadarni to give a vote of appreciation.
Good evening to all. I want to thank on behalf of STG's Talk Series 3 Organizing Committee sincerely for coming to STG Ethiopia Series 3 event today. We could like to express our sincere gratitude to all of renowned speakers and volunteers and staff members for helping to make this event a huge success. We appreciate your involvement and engagement in this discussion. Let's continue work together and be dedicated to SDG as we strive for more sustainable future. And I want to thank you again for being part of a wonderful event. I hope you have a great evening. Thank you all.
So thank you everyone for giving the wonderful opportunity. And shall I take leave?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I take leave.